Hello, this is Elliot Schlissel, elder care attorney. Today's video is about a reclusive heirless and how her estate was settled. Yugatet Clark died in 2011. At the time of her death, she had $300 million in assets. There has recently been a tentative settlement agreement worked out between a variety of parties litigating over Yugatet Clark's $300 million estate. So here's her life story. Miss Clark was born in 1906. She died at the tender age of 104. She had been residing in a mansion on Fifth Avenue. She had been married once for a short period of time and never had children. Yugatet lived most of her life as a recluse. Many of her family members involved in the estate litigation had never met her. Miss Clark had lived for the last 20 years of her life at Beth Israel Hospital in Manhattan. She had entered the hospital in 1991 with a severe case of skin cancer. The skin cancer caused a disfigurement of her face. After extensive plastic surgery to rehabilitate her face, she refused to go back to her spacious apartment on Fifth Avenue. She continued to live in her hospital room until the day she died. She kept the shades closed and the door to her hospital room closed. She spent her time playing with dolls and watching cartoons. Miss Clark's fortune was inherited. Her father, William Andrews Clark, made his fortune by owning copper mines. Yugatet Clark executed 2 different wills in the year 2005 during a 6-week period. The first will left all but $5 million of her estate to a variety of family members. The second will left her family nothing. It left all of her assets to a foundation for the arts and various individuals she knew. These individuals included her lawyer, who was the draftsman of her will, her accountant, her doctor, and one of her nurses. A lawsuit had been filed by Mrs. Clark's 20 grandnieces and grandnephews. It was their position Miss Clark was incompetent. There was undue influence and fraud with regard to the execution of the second will, and therefore it should be declared invalid. A tentative settlement had been worked out on the estate. The New York State Attorney General's office helped mediate the settlement. Under this settlement agreement, her family would receive $34,500,000 after taxes. The late Miss Clark's lawyer, Wallace Block, her accountant, Irving Kamsler, would receive nothing. Miss Clark's nurse, Hadassah Perry, would also not inherit any funds from her estate, and in addition would have to return the $5 million she was given during Miss Clark's life. Although Miss Perry received nothing from her estate, she was allowed to keep more than $30 million she received in gifts during Miss Clark's lifetime. Miss Clark's lawyer and accountant would be entitled to keep the gifts they had received during her lifetime. The Corcoran Gallery of Art, where her father's art collection is and is maintained, received $10 million under the settlement. This is Elliot Schlissel, a state's attorney, signing off for the day. Thank you for listening to me.